Welcome to Sewell Group Craven Park, a glorious day here in East Hull for this Betfred Challenge Cup 6-round tie between Hull Kingston Rovers and the Leigh Centurions. We've got Joe and Ben reporting for Prost International today. Ben, it's your first visit to East Hull. It's great to be with you, buddy. It's great to be working with someone. What's your thoughts? Glorious day, Craven Street's rocking. Should be a really good encounter.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a Challenge Cup tie. What more do you want? Sun's out. Hopefully good attendance. First time at Craven Street, like you said. Yeah, can't ask for more.
No, beautiful day for some summer rugby league even in the end of March. So we will go over the teams, the Robins lineup. We will Dagger at fullback, Jimmy Carno, Sam Wood, Sean Kinney-Dowell, Benn Crooks is in for Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall having a bit of a breather, we believe, alongside Jez Litton. In the halves, it's them familiar faces. It's Mikey Lewis and Jordan Abdul. Tom Garrett, Matt Parcells recalled after he missed the trip to Perpignan last week. And George King is in the front row. Frankie Halton, Kane Lynette and Elliot Minchella make up the starting 13 for Tony Smith's men, with a big bench going with Matt Staunton, Corbin Sims, Will Marr and Rowan Milnes, the latter two making their first appearances in 2022. So Ben, tell us what the Levers line up for today.
Yeah, so we've got Caleb Aikens, fullback, Keenan Brand, Ed Chamberlain, Nene McDonald, Chris Nininu, Ben Reynolds, Joe Miller, Adam Sidlaw. He'll be leading around the park, obviously. Yeah, touched on that. What's his name? Smith. Here we are. Bit of a change. Aaron Smith back in.
Former Hull KR player, Aaron Smith. Two games on loan.
Yeah, definitely. Tom Amon, Joe Wardle, Sam Stone, Asiata, and on the bench we've got Ipape, Nisbet, Pingano and Jones. I think quite a strong side overall. Yeah. You couldn't ask for much more in terms of a Leigh line-up from Leigh's perspective. There's a big chance here for Leigh today, and they could cause a little bit of an upset.
Do you think the weather being as good as it is and it not maybe raining and making it a forwards battle, does that make the advantage a little bit more to the home side? Because I look at this Leigh Centurions pack, I love Adam Sidlaw, we spoke about that, didn't we? We know what Aaron Smith's about, Tom Amon. I just think if Rovers want to win this game and dominate, like they should and like the bookies say, but this isn't going to be a free-for-all for Hull Kingston Rovers. We've had 4 games in the last 6 years in the Challenge Cup. Every single one's been a humdinger. Yeah. Never mind the last one in the last second when Nick Rosethorn scored in that corner over there. The last game I actually commentated here before COVID Eve it was, but I think it should be a real tussle. I think the middle is maybe where this game's won.
Yeah, I think obviously in terms of the weather, I think obviously it helps. It will help both teams be passing about. But I think if KR can get the ball and swiftly move it across the park, that's the key for them today, because the calibre of players is maybe a little bit higher than Leigh overall. They just need to make sure the defence is strong as it needs to be to keep Leigh out, because we've seen that Leigh can score points this season. I know that they're up against sort of some part-time teams, quite a part-time team in the Championship, but getting points on the board regardless of who you're against isn't easy, and they've done it in quite a successful period.
Yeah, they have. I watched them on Monday night on Premier Sports against Halifax, a really rough encounter, but Leigh did get the job done. And as Rocket Man plays in the background, there's no Rocket Man in Kieran Dixon. Obviously, we'll remember Dixon for his 2 years at Hull Kingston Rovers. This would be a perfect game for Kieran Dixon. He's prone to errors. He's not the most steadiest under the high ball, but I tell you what, there's not many people who's as fast as Kieran Dixon. And I think you look at Caleb Aikens, Kristen Inu, Nenny McDonald, who's been outstanding. I think as good as Hull KR are, they are still lacking a bit of speed. And even with Ben Crooks coming in, I think Ethan Ryan would have added that razzmatazz into the side, and I think that's where Leigh have got to target the outside backs for Rovers. They've got to win the middle, and I think if you go out wide against Rovers, especially against Sam Wood, Jimmy Carnos, they are prone to jumping in, so it could be a really tough afternoon, but I think we're just expecting a really good game.
Yeah, definitely. I think for Leigh, the key is speed. Don't let Rovers have a minute when Centurions are on the attack. I think that could prove vital if Leigh are to be successful today. In terms of the game overall, I think the point that we were talking about this before we went on camera is that I don't think this should be a game that's taken for granted by anyone connected to KR. Not because obviously you do go into his favourites, but Leigh is still a full-time outfit. Leigh are trying to get back up to the Super League, and so far they're doing quite well. They only lost at Feb, which was a night to forget. But since then they've recruited again, as we've seen a lot of teams do, and they have got stronger. So if you're asking me for a prediction, I still expect KR to go through today, but I think we're in for a really good game yet again between the two sides.
There's something special in there about the Challenge Cup. I don't know what it is. I just think it's a different atmosphere, beautiful day. But you win this game, you're 2 wins off Tottenham.
Yeah.
You want to say Wembley, but obviously we know the finals at Tottenham. And I think for Leigh as well, when we spoke to Derek Beaumont on the Rugby League review last week, so we'll pump that. Remember to follow Prost, follow all our journals, because we do a lot of hard work and there's some really good coverage on there. You've got the 1895 Cup as well. So even if Leigh don't take home and go into the next round and they're not in the pot in this afternoon's draw, there's still that chance you're probably going to make that Tottenham final, just because of, I think you and Fev, it'd be a cracking final before maybe the main event. That's what you've got to look at as well.
Yeah, well, definitely. I think, to be honest with you, I'm not quite sure how the system with the 1895 is looking. I know that they're doing a draw on Monday for a playoff and the semi-finals. And I spoke to Louis Roberts a couple of weeks ago, playing, Leigh's Louis Roberts. He's desperate to get there. He said the squad are really looking forward to it, and that's a competition that they can target. And of course, there's still the chance they could go through today in the Challenge Cup, but the chance to get to Tottenham, obviously it should be Wembley, but it'll still be a great experience. And I think, like you said, there's Featherstone and Leigh probably, if they avoid each other semi-final stage, they probably should get there.
Yeah, I believe so. Featherstone are obviously in the south of France taking on Catalan. We've got St Helens against Whitehaven, Hull FC against Sheffield. So a lot of action today in the Challenge Cup. Remember to follow me and Ben and the Rugby League Review on Twitter. We'll be doing live match threads and live half-time and full-time updates. So from me and Ben here at Sewell Group Craven Park, we're about an hour away from kick-off, and we will see you soon for this Betfred Challenge Cup 6th round clash between Hull Kingston Rovers and the Leigh Centurions.